Hi guys. Okay, we're going to work a problem that involves order of operations. We worked on order of operations today in class and we need a bit more practice on it. So this video is going to walk you step by step through each operation and what order you should do them in. Okay, first of all, let's review the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It was a really good way to remember the P, the E, the M, D, A, and the S, which really stand for parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide, add and subtract. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a look at our problem up here, and we're going to begin to work it exactly in this order, making sure we cover the parentheses first, exponents next, making sure we multiply and divide in the order we see them from left to right, and the last thing that we should ever do is add and subtract in the order that we see them from left to right. Remember, if you do these steps in the wrong order, you're probably going to get the wrong answer. So, let's take a look at our problem up here. This one should look familiar. It's one that we tried to do in class today. It was kind of difficult. So that's why I chose this one to work out for you. All right. Step one, the P in please stands for parentheses. So I've got a set of parentheses right here. And what I'm going to do there is find the answer to what's inside the parentheses. 4 minus 2 is 2. Now, remember we talked about bringing everything down, making sure that we rewrite that entire number sentence around the answer that we just got. All right, so I took care of step one, parentheses. I'm looking at my new number sentence and there aren't any more parentheses, which means I need to move on to step two. The E in excuse stands for exponents. So I've got an exponent right here. And remember we talked about exponents. We learned and practiced exponents last week. That little 2 above the 10 does not mean 10 times 2. It means that there are 2 10s multiplied together, like this, a 10 and a 10. 2 10s multiplied together. And as we all know, 10 times 10 equals 100. So that 10 squared, or 10 to the second power, equals 100. Remember, now I'm going to bring everything down, build the rest of that number sentence around the answer that I just got. That process is very important. It keeps you from forgetting what you just did. It keeps you from getting confused and getting the wrong answer. All right, so I'm going to scan this new number sentence, make sure I've taken care of all of the exponents, and I have. Next, we move on to my dear, which stands for multiply and divide, but we got to do them in the order that we see them. That means if we're reading the number sentence from left to right, and we see the multiplication symbol first, then that's what we do first. If we were reading a number sentence from left to right and we saw a division symbol first, then we would do that first. But we've got to take care of all the multiplying and all the division before we move on to adding and subtracting. So I'm scanning the sentence from left to right, and the first thing I come across is a multiplication problem. 2 times 5 is 10. And I'm going to bring everything down around the answer that I just got. So we're still stuck on multiplying and dividing. Got to take care of all the multiplication and all the division as well before I move on to adding and subtracting. Adding and subtracting should be the very last step that you make. Okay? So we've got a division problem here. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then here I am again rewriting the rest of the number sentence around the answer I just got. And then I'm here adding and subtracting. I'm going to do that from left to right. Oops, 100 plus 10 is 110. And then bringing the rest down, minus 5 equals 105. There you go.